What's up guys, welcome back to our channel, and today we are going to be talking about something super duper important to our day and time in which we live in. So if you have not been living underneath a rock this entire time, you know that there is a harmful, deadly virus going around killing thousands of persons called the COVID-19, otherwise known as the corona. Now, I'm not saying this to scare you, hunty, but I'm saying this because it is sparking up conversations that we need to have about hygiene. It's something that I didn't think that we'd have to talk about so much, because you just think that this is just a way of life, that you should be washing your hands, that you should be sanitizing your area and spaces, and that you should be very well versed and knowledgeable of the things and the practices that you're into that may lead to destructive viruses like this. So as we know, this virus started in Wuhan, China, and a lot of people are blaming China and saying, oh, you guys are evil, you guys are doing all this stuff. And my whole thing about it is it's not fair to just lay hands on China alone as if China is the only group of persons who would have caused epidemics and pandemics like this in the world to happen. I mean, look at the swine flu from 2009, and I think it's the give me if I'm wrong, the avian flu with the birds, and Ebola, and all these different things that started in different parts of the world. So it's just like, let's just be nice to our Asian friends, okay? That's all I have to say on that, okay? Moving right along to the rest of the video. So the way I would describe hygiene is just simply the practices you take in order to prevent viruses, flus, diseases, illnesses, different things like that. Just the measures you take to protect your body and your environment from those things. Now obviously we can see why this is important, because you do not want to die. But aside from that, you don't want to come down with any, bad ill feelings, coughing, being in bed for 2 weeks. Nobody have time for that. We have things to get done, okay? We don't have time for sicknesses, okay? So you really want to keep yourself healthy. And so that's again one of the things that if you don't pay attention to, taking vitamins and bush medicine or whatever you take to get rid of the flu or whatever, it's counterproductive. And so you really want not to just protect against it, but you want to eliminate the source of it around you so that your body won't have to be fighting as hard against it. We just don't realize how many tiny little microorganisms of germs and bacteria just are lying and waiting for us to just touch it so that it can grow and multiply on our bodies and cause all kind of complications. So to avoid that, you need to watch where you're putting your hands, watch where you're putting your elbows. I know we have a thing when we're tired, we tend to lean on things. Maybe in the bank line you're leaning on the little rail separated divider post, or you're leaning on a shelf or something. Be aware that germs are every single where, and so even if you do forget, just always remember to wash your hands, wash your elbows regularly, especially if you're not wearing long sleeves and your arms are out. Even with your legs and your feet, you're not realizing how many dust and dirt and all kind of pollution in the air are just clinging to your skin and your hairs. And that's why it's important to take a bath, because just because you don't smell funky to yourself doesn't mean that you're not dirty or grimy and have germs all over your body that you need to wash off. Hygiene to me is also that if you are sick, that you're making sure that you're coughing into your shirt, not in your hand, that you're gonna shake your boss's hand with. I mean, I know some of y'all spiteful and y'all might be trying to make y'all boss sick on purpose, but we ain't doing that because we save, right? We save. And if y'all ain't save, let me tell you about Jesus. But yes, you definitely want to make sure that you're not spreading your germs to other persons when you cough in your shirt. If you have the pink eye, or any kind of infection that's contagious, you want to make sure that you're limiting contact with people, that's your responsibility to not allow people to catch what you have. In the same way, you would want people to take these same measures and steps to make sure you don't catch what they have, right? Okay, so let's just be fair. Hygiene also means washing your skin and hair properly on a regular basis, and I think I alluded to that earlier. But one thing I realized is that whether we're washing our hands or bathing or taking a shower and even washing our hair, we don't spend enough time lathering up. Okay, you just doing one quick little 1 second lather and washing that off is not going to get most of the germs off. You're only going to get off a few, but it's going to stay to your skin because you need to really get in there. Spend some time, just feel the mood and just feel your breath, feel the energy that's inside of you, and just kind of, love on yourself and just exfoliate your body well, lather up really, really well for at least 30 seconds to a minute on each section, then wash it off. Another thing you can do to practice hygiene, carry wipes, disinfectant wipes, carry, alcohol in a spray bottle, hand sanitizer. If you feel as though an area might be a very germy environment and you don't want to touch it, then don't. Just bring along these things, but you have them right in your bag so you can whip it out whenever you need to and make sure that your environment is nice and clean. When you go to the grocery store, you don't want to touch that meat, then just go right to the produce section, get you one of those nice little free bags and pick it up with that, put it in, and you don't have to touch the nasty stinky meat until you go home and you're in an environment where you can touch that. Don't forget to wipe down knobs on your doors, on your faucets, anywhere that there's high traffic and people are constantly touching the fridge, wherever. You want to make sure regularly you're wiping down these areas, even for persons in your family, because if you have a lot of kids especially and they're around other kids, then they can tend to get sick very often. So to help alleviate that and even prevent you from catching whatever they have, just make sure that everywhere, as much as possible, I'm not saying you have to wipe down every single square inch of your house, but definitely anywhere that you can sit down and think that this is a high traffic area, make sure it's clean. So my heart definitely goes out to every single person who would have been impacted by this virus. I know it's not easy losing a loved one and so suddenly, and it's definitely again another wake-up call to love on the persons closest to you. Call up a family member or friend, have it on a periodical basis that, hey, I'm going to check on this person, because you don't know where death lies, and you really got to make the best of life and realize that, money, material things, wealth, status, it's not life. It's not the end all say all, and really life is really about the time you spend with people. Life is about the impact that you have on people and the gifts and the talents that you use to make this world a better place. And that's honestly what I believe that we're here for. I digress again, but definitely that's something I think is so important again, to just remember why you're here. And I'm honestly just hoping and praying that we really learn how important hygiene is, and this is something we really can learn from long term, and not just going back to our same bad habits, but actually making the change and letting it become a lifestyle instead of something we only rush and do because we're trying to prevent ourselves from catching a virus or getting sick or whatever the case is. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and definitely check us out next week. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe to our videos, and tell your friends, spread the message of hygiene so that someone won't get impacted by this whole corona mess. Until next week, guys, take care.